Welcome to The Sting, our first winter edition. This is NORCAM's one-stop shop for everything you need to know about North Reading High School athletics. I'm Mel Webster, and I'm here today with Phil Healy and NORCAM. Hello, Phil.
Hey, how you doing, Mel?
It's been a while. We took a few weeks off, let the winter season get started, let the fall season end, let the holiday season get out of the way. And we're back at it big time now in North Reading High School athletics. A couple of interesting things, at least I think they're interesting, they wanted to touch on. First is we've added a new team this winter. It's a co-op team. It's a ski team. We've actually joined with Haverhill High School and Billerica High School.
Oh, your alma mater.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Good memory.
Yeah.
And Dave Johnson worked with the athletic director at Haverhill High School, and we have joined their ski team. It's a 6-week season, which is started 2 weeks ago. They practice and they have several meets for 6 weeks. They ski at the Bradford ski area in Bradford, which is a section of Haverhill.
Yeah.
And last count I saw, we have 4 students participating in the on the team. Don't know the results, but anytime the school committee and the school department can offer more opportunity for our students to participate in athletics, as long as it's cost effective and feasible, we'll do it. So this is our first year. We'll look at it after a couple of years and see how it's running. And if it's running well, we have students participating, we'll continue to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. No, sorry to jump in, but do they provide their own equipment? Or
yes, they provide their own equipment. They also have to provide their own transportation. That's, that's one of the drawbacks is that we can't provide transportation for the co-op team, for 4 students to get up to Haverhill. So they do have to have their own transportation and definitely their own equipment. But it's an opportunity for kids who want to ski competitively against other schools. It's an opportunity for them to participate on a team. And right now it looks like it's going well. We'll talk to Dave Johnson at the end of the season and see how that goes. Good. It's one of we actually have 4 winter co-op teams. We have the ski team. We have the gymnastics team where we team with Danvers, and that's, I think, 3 or 4 years old, and that team's done very well. We have the wrestling team with Linfield, and that's interesting. That team used to be dominated by Linfield participants, and this year I believe we have 16 North Reading wrestlers and 4 Linfield wrestlers.
Wow.
So it's turned around.
Yeah, the tides have turned, yeah.
And many of the meets, in fact, there's a big quad meet this afternoon at North Reading High School. So that means 4 teams participating in a wrestling match against each other.
And Linfield is like the kind of rival of North
Reading,
right?
That makes it very interesting.
Wow, yeah.
Yes, and it's been a powerhouse of a team. It's done extremely well over the years. And then our final co-op, we have a girls hockey team where we are with Linfield High School and Peabody High School, and Peabody is the host of that. Yeah. And I believe this year we have 6 girls participating. So we have of the 4 co-op teams, we have approximately 30 athletes from North Reading High School who participate. So it's
pretty good.
As I said, we can't have the team on our own because wrestling maybe we could at some point, and that's going to be something that's going to have to be looked at down the road. But some of these other teams, we don't have enough participants to form our own team. So this gives kids an option if we can't do that.
And they got to work with kids from other schools.
Exactly.
It's kind of a great environment.
Great life skills, learning how to work with others, people you don't know, et cetera, and forming relationships and things like that. So we think that's great. It's been a great start to the winter season. After last winter, from all the records I've checked, was the best overall performance of any winter season in the history of North Reading High School.
Wow.
So that's 60 years. This is the 60th year for North Reading High School. The old high school was built in 57, and before that, North Reading students went to Reading High School. So 60 years, the best season. And a lot of the teams either graduated or lost through transfers to private schools, a lot of their top players. And so we went into this season kind of thinking, we'll be okay, but we're not going to see the records we saw last year. And so far, it's been just a little bit short of phenomenal, I'd say, in terms of the performances. The best performance to date is the boys hockey team. They have a record of 8 wins and 0 losses.
Oh, wow.
And in those 8 games, they've given up 5 goals in 8 games.
Wow.
And they play Saturday afternoon, big game against Triton Regional, which is always a strong hockey team.
Yeah, they're pretty, or just as a school, too. They're pretty formidable.
Big school.
Yeah.
And that'll be at home at Kazabuski Arena. I think it starts at 4:30, 4:45.
Before the game, essentially.
Yes. So big game Saturday, but they graduated they lost 5 of their 6 top scorers from last year. 2 transferred to private schools. One of the things that happens in North Reading a lot, especially with hockey, is some of the better players who really want to have an opportunity to play in college transfer it to private schools, be it the Independent School League or some other private school, because they're going to face higher competition on a more regular basis. They're going to be seen by more college coaches at those schools. That's not putting down the quality of play at North Reading High School, but it's a fact of life.
It happens at a lot of schools.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had 2 students transfer out, 3 others graduated, and so the coach of the team really didn't know what to expect this year. And I think it's pretty fair to say that he's pleasantly surprised that they're 8-0. They're undefeated. I think they're either 4-0 and 5-0 in the league, and then 3-0 outside of the league.
Oh, nice.
So
and how many? 4 goals, or was it 4?
5 goals in 8 games.
Wow.
And they started off 5-0, and some people were looking at their schedule and saying, yeah, but now they've got some tough games coming up. They got Linfield, which is always tough. They've got Masco, which is always tough. They had a big out-of-league game the other night against North Andover, and people were saying maybe they won't be undefeated anymore after those games. And they gave up 1 goal total in those 3 games.
Wow.
They won most recently against North Andover 3-0.
Yeah.
So great defense, and so far, as I said, pleasant surprise. The 2 other teams that people focus on a lot during the winter are the boys and girls basketball teams. Again, huge numbers of graduating seniors last year from those 2 teams, both of them which went 18-2.
Yeah, and they went pretty far in the tournament.
Pretty far in the tournament. The girls went to the I believe the finals of the North section, lost to Bishop Fenwick.
Bishop Fenwick, yeah.
Right, and the boys went 3 rounds into the tournament last year. Yeah. So as I said,
lost at home, right?
They lost. I can't remember.
No, they were like 7 points.
It was at home. It was at home.
It was like a real slim margin.
Yes.
Because I know it was down to the last couple of possessions.
Yeah. So the girls had the biggest loss. They had Jess Lazan, who was their 6'5" center, who graduated and is now attending Yale and playing at Yale.
Oh, good for her.
Yes. So
she's playing? Or?
Yes. She like most freshmen, she's not playing a lot, but she has gotten in several games. I took a look at
That's amazing, man.
At the Yale women's basketball page the other night, and she has gotten into several games.
So Yale's not not something to balk at.
No,
as far as the school,
academics, and it's Division I basketball.
Yeah,
it's
and
top.
football.
That's top, right?
Yeah.
So she's gone, and they lost 3 other starters. Only 1 starter was back, and that's Kat Hassapis, who is the star goalkeeper for the soccer team, who's won the Cape Ann League Female Player of the Year 2 years in a row in soccer.
Oh, good for her.
She's the only starter who came back. And they're off to let me see what their record is. They're off to a 7-3 start.
It's pretty good.
Much better, again, than expected. They've got freshmen playing. They've got 2 sophomores playing a lot of time. And very good start for the girls. They're 3-3 in the league, and they're 4-0 out of the conference.
Nice.
And then the boys team, again, every leading scorer graduated from the team last year. And they are off to a 5-1 start. And they're both teams play tonight. Boys and girls, they both play Manchester Essex. The boys will be at home. The girls will be at Manchester Essex. I believe the Manchester Essex girls team, the last time I looked, was undefeated, so it'll be a challenging game for the girls. Yeah. But again, as I say, a lot of surprises this year in terms of performance. One area that's not a surprise is our track teams, which continue to be fairly dominant in the Cape Ann League. Both the girls and boys teams have records of 5-2 at the time. 5-2, 5 wins, 2 losses for both the boys and girls teams, and several individual competitors who have top performances in the league. So that's again something we've come to expect from North Reading. We've had great success with track and field over the last several years, both winter, indoor, and outdoor. The thing that's interesting about track, of course, is we have no indoor track facility for practices. No. Now, the weather's helped this year because we've been able to be outdoors. But when we can't be outdoors, you might see them practicing running in the halls, and that actually helps with the new school, those long halls that we have.
It's like an airport.
Right.
So, crazy.
You'll see them practicing in there. But it's a disadvantage, although many schools don't have an indoor track facility. Many of their meets are at the Reggie Lewis track and field facility in Boston, or Lynn Tech has an indoor track facility. So they can't have any meets at home.
Sure.
Both doing very well.
Yeah, they were undefeated last year, but
one of the teams, I think the girls won the league last year. I'm not sure if the boys did.
I think the boys were fairly successful because we had a student, Jackson Hastings, who's actually graduated.
Right.
Was part of that group. So
we've won several Division 4, 5. I think it's 5 maybe now we're in, or 6. We've won several championships over the last several years, Eastern Mass Championship, state championships.
Now, will they bump you? I mean, is there at a point where they bump you to the next division?
A lot of that depends on the size of the school. One of the things that North Reading has been struggling with a little bit lately is we have gotten bumped up in leagues. For example, next year the plan is to bump our basketball teams up. So we'll play the same schedule during the year, but if we make the state playoffs, we play a higher level of competition. That happened in football this year, but the team still did very well. We made it to the semifinals against Marblehead. So, but it's difficult because one of the things we're going to start seeing over the next few years at North Reading High School is a decline in the number of students. So once that happens, usually the state, every 4 years, they take a look at what divisions you're in.
Okay.
So once you're in a division, you're stuck there basically for 4 years. So if you start declining and it's not the time to reshuffle the divisions, you can be in a little trouble for a couple of years. But the school's grown steadily. Right now, it's about 810 students, but that's probably the peak right now. And next year, we'll stay about the same, and then we'll start seeing a decline over the next few years. Just touch on a couple other things. The previously mentioned wrestling team has a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. So that's, again, the co-op with Linfield. We've developed a strong wrestling tradition at North Reading. It's great having the new large gym at the high school because we can have the meets there, the quad meets, where you got 4 teams. It's about 80 participants and a lot of parents and fans, and you got mats all over the place. You got more than one match going on at a time. With that new facility, we can handle that now. And so that's been great. And then the one other team we have, and I don't know how well they've done, we also have a co-ed swimming team. And the participation in swimming is up tremendously over the last few years. When we first started, it was, maybe 10, 15 students. And I think this year we have something like 40-plus students on the team. And I believe they are now, they swim and practice their meets and practices. Their home meets are at the Reading YMCA.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And
that's not too far off, too.
No. And also the cheerleaders are in action. I know the cheerleaders did very well in the fall. I believe they placed very high in their regional competition. And I know there are competitions in the winter. I don't know if they've had any yet. Big group of cheerleaders at every basketball game, boys basketball game. And, many people don't understand that cheerleading is a sport. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's like gymnasts.
Correct. Absolutely. And our cheerleaders work really hard. It's not just the, 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate kind of thing. It's a lot of gymnastics and tumbling and pyramids and strength work and all that kind of thing. So
feats of strength.
Exactly. Feats of strength, yes, which can happen around Festivus or during the winter sports season.
This is true.
Right. So great start for the winter season, and we'll be keeping a close watch on things over the next several weeks. And once the seasons get closer to state tournament time, hopefully we'll be back and we'll have another episode of The Sting. So, again, if you're looking for sports information, North Reading High School, Sting's the place to come. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you have any desire to cover any sports in the area in North Reading, please contact NORCAM. You can call us at 978-664-0501, or you can email me at phil.healy.norcam, that's phil.healy.norcam@gmail.com. And thank you again.
This podcast is part of the NORCAM Podcast Network. Check out more podcasts at podomatic.com/NORCAM.